Hello and welcome. Today I'm bringing you a solo Force Master speedrun of the Pigsty. Anyways, I jump over the first mobs to try to skip them. Sadly, they still shot me. Now I'll just keep running through this until the first boss room, then I will aggro the boss and AoE them down. Anyways, the reason why the Pigsty is a good idea is because it's faster than Brightstone Ruins. And the Brightstone Ruins recipes are just so cheap now. They're like 9 to 10 gold each, so it really isn't economical to do Brightstone Ruins for the gold, but it's a bit easier. Anyways, I just skipped the first mobs in the hallway. Sometimes you get few of these, but sometimes you get very many, so you have to be aware of that. Anyways, I tried to aggro the first boss along with the ads and then just AoE them down, because this is faster than killing the ads, then switching specs to a single target spec and then killing the boss in the single target spec, although it's safer that way. So essentially I use a modified burn build, something similar to the first boss of Brightstone. I'll have a link in the description. Actually, at the end of the video I'll discuss why I picked what I picked. So essentially there isn't anything special about this fight. It's a lot easier than the Brightstone first fight. You might die though, but I mean mechanically it isn't up to RNG whether you get knocked back. Although it is a bit scary at times, because if the boss knocks you away into the middle of the room, you are essentially dead, because one of the mushrooms will grip you and it's just gonna... Okay, you might not actually die if you can kill the mushroom, but it's not gonna go too well in terms of time. The poison is annoying, but it really isn't much of a problem because it deals very little damage at the amount of HP I have. So the boss is down. Now I will just run through. Sometimes you pull the monsters that will be here to the boss room, so you don't have to skip anything at all. Other times they will aggro you, but you can almost always open the gate even if you aggro the gunners. So you can't really skip these, you just have to run through. I grab the dragon coils because sometimes I actually do pop them, and this just gives you safety. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, they're not gonna take 2 of your dragon coils down. So now I just try to line of sight them with the corner, so that the gunner mobs try to get into one spot and then use Shadow Grasp to pull them together. Sadly it didn't work on all of them, but usually it does. Anyways, now the plan is to essentially DPS the boss. The boss itself isn't all that dangerous, although he is incredibly annoying because he keeps charging you and you can't really iframe all of it, because he does it 3 times in a row really quickly. And right now you could actually SS and QE them, but very quickly the room becomes filled with poison, so it doesn't work in the long run. The reason why I'm using the AoE spec is that he spawns ads and I can't think of a way to make him not do that. And the issue is that those ads will essentially keep spamming the ranged attack, which freezes you. And to break freeze, you have to use your essentially iframe. And the issue there is that they will often freeze you where the boss starts his massive damage attack, you know, the small cone that you see. And that will absolutely wreck you and kill your time. So I found it much faster to actually AoE the ads down than to try to somehow avoid them, because if there's like 1, then it's not really a problem, but very quickly it becomes like 2 or 3 of them, and then you just get chain CC'd. You won't die, but it will kill your time. So again, I just like AoEing them down. Although maybe a good idea would be to change specs a little bit, to do this weird, what is it, Fire Fury one, in the portions where it's single target on the boss. Although it's a bit lower DPS than the usual single target spec, I imagine it's a bit faster in terms of single target DPS than the AoE spec, although to be fair, the AoE spec actually doesn't have all that much difference. The main issue is impact, because impact takes longer to cast than Force Blast. But yeah, essentially this fight is very easy at the gear levels that I have, a lot easier than the Brightstone fights really. But it's incredibly annoying. A summoner or an assassin will do this fight a lot faster because they don't have to put up with this constant CC stuff. Assassin because he is, you know, invisible, and well, summoner because he taunts. So my gear is a true pirate bangle, brilliant hexagonal amethyst, crit ruby, attack power diamond, and the attack power peridot. I have true siren accessories and the soul and the siren bracelet. Essentially my gear hasn't changed from the Brightstone one. So the skills this time are also going to be a bit different. As you saw, I will be taking the burn build that I showed in the other video and change it like in the Brightstone video, you know, to make it look like the one I use. Well, the thing is that you really want AoE abilities, so Windstorm is pointless. Also you want movement, so Backstep is really useful. Then 2 points in the middle Ice Tab tree, because this also gives you movement backwards. Heatwave would be nice, but you don't really use it because it's really poor DPS, so I'm not taking that. I want 3 points in Dragon Char, the first tree, because this gives it 4 meter width, so it's way easier to hit stuff. I will also take 4 points in Dragon Whirl for the same reason, because it's just so much easier to hit stuff. Force Blast gets changed into Impact, and essentially now I want 2 points in Shadow Grasp, but I need another point from somewhere. So I will be taking 1 point from Frost Tornado and put it into Snowball then, because this doesn't, in 2 points it doesn't give you any focus back, so I might as well have Snowball instead of Frost Tornado, because the blocks all attack and defense skills for 4 seconds, which actually doesn't block all of them, is kinda pointless. So Snowball is just as good, but you really aren't gonna use it, so it doesn't matter exactly. And with this you have the 2 points for Shadow Grasp, and that's it. This is the tree I use, and there will be a link in the description for this build. It might be better to make some changes, but the main thing is that you definitely need to be an AoE spec, because you absolutely need to kill the ads on this last fight. And on the first fight, sometimes you pull way too many of the monsters from the hallway that you run through, so you need to AoE them down as well. Anyways, that's essentially it. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.